They marched on Macquarie Street in their thousands, defiant and determined to be heard.
We're talking about nurses in ICU and ED who just can't even stop to go to the toilet. It's just ridiculous.
The working conditions that we've had during COVID over the last 2 years are impossible. We are burnt out, we're anxious.
2 years into the pandemic, there's one state government refrain that's particularly hitting a nerve.
To be told that the hospital system is coping is like a knife in the back.
I think it's absolutely disgusting that the politicians who don't work in a hospital are trying to convince us that we're the ones and we're coping. We're obviously not coping.
You guys are not okay!
Nurses in 150 hospitals across the state walked off the job to call for mandated staff-to-patient ratios. They also want a pay rise above the 2.5% wages cap on all public sector workers.
We do hope that we can provide a resolution to those matters as quickly as possible.
The Industrial Relations Commission had ordered the protest be called off after the government argued it posed a risk to public safety. But New South Wales Health says a skeleton staff was enough to provide urgent care and treat critically ill patients.
While these nurses say the pandemic has brought them to their knees, today's strike is the culmination of a decade-long dispute over pay and conditions. With more waves of COVID expected to hit hospitals in coming months, there's now more pressure than ever on the government to resolve the dispute.
Many nurses have already resigned and plenty more are thinking about it.
Right now, I love my patients enough to stay. I can't say that's going to last forever.
The rest say they won't give up their fight.
We will come back bigger and angrier each time we are ignored.
A warning from a workforce pushed to the brink. Sarah Garathy, ABC News, Sydney.
An onslaught outside was echoed inside.
Minister for Health, quiet please. Minister for Health.
The government was frustrated by a peppering of questions from the opposition.
Premier, last week you accused nurses of playing politics.
Today we heard of the trauma nurses feel.
I think it's a terrible question because you're playing politics in the middle of a pandemic and you're misquoting. Please ask questions based on fact.
Parliament has resumed just days after bruising by-elections for the government and after MPs had spent weeks trying to woo voters.
Not once did they say to me they wish we had a Labor health minister.
But Labor's campaign on health in the pandemic helped the party claim the seat of Bega for the first time.
They want the Omicron variant to keep going. They want COVID to keep going. That's what they want. They are so absolutely, they are addicted to the idea of this thing going on. I'm calling out your negativity. I'm calling out your fear.
My point of order is withdraw what you said because people have lost relatives. Do you understand? In your electorate and in our electorate. People have died.
All we hear from them is more negativity.
Labor has clearly abandoned its promise of a positive approach from the opposition benches. But its performance in question time today was indicative of a party energised by the weekend's results.
Even in victory, the leader of the opposition and his stormtroopers cannot show any grace.
Maybe the Treasurer should spend more time answering the question and doing his job than, say, stabbing the Premier and the Prime Minister in the back.
Both sides back to form in the bear pit. Ashley Raper, ABC News, Sydney.